Hello.
Then, now,
Countdown to the queens.
Episode number 500.
forever.
Looks like hell froze over.
Without any more further ado,
Together.
let's jump straight into the show. Konnichiwa, and welcome to episode 174 of the TEW9 Challenge Run. We are here for the next In Your House special event. It is a big one. It is Worlds Collide. We're here in the Ryogoku Sumo Hall in Japan. You know, one day from removed from SmackDown, which was in this same arena. And tonight, we've got a stacked lineup. 7 matches, I believe, on the show, including our main event. First time ever, only time ever. Ace versus Face, Icon versus Icon. 2 men retiring, John Cena and Hiroshi Tanahashi in the main event. Hiromu Takahashi is on the show. He's wrestling Johnny Gargano for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title. IYO versus Mayu for the Women's World title. Okada with the IC title on the line in an open challenge. Shingo Takagi defense against AJ Styles, the IWGP World Championship. The 4-way for the Women's Tag Team Championships. And Obafemi defending the United States Championship against Tomohiro Ishii. Yeah, without any more further ado, though, let's finally jump straight into Worlds Collide. Hype video, you know, some of our big matches of the night. Cena Tana, IYO Mayu, Okada, all of it. You know, 2 companies, one show, one night. What a night it's gonna be. And we're kicking things off with one of our second main event, I guess. The Women's World Championship will be on the line. IYO SKY, Mayu Iwatani, for the first time in years, are going to go one-on-one here tonight. IYO's World Championship on the line. Let's see if IYO will retain the championship or if we will have a shocking upset and see the championship move to a Stardom wrestler. Here's the video package for that. I thought that was the match rating. I nearly shit myself. But no, this is the video package for the match, specifically going over their history. Kairi, of course, is here. She comes out with IYO as well, because she's an integral part of this too. 87, sure, we'll take that. Obviously, Mayu isn't super over, even in Japan. Like, even though that's where she wrestles. Like, the popularity cap for companies that aren't me is, like, quite low. So, in reality, even, like, most of my guys will be more over than the New Japan guys, because that's just the way the game works at this point of how far I'm into the game. So, I'll take 87, sure. IYO picks up the win, of course. 24-23 for Moonsault to make defense number 4 of the Women's World Championship. 88 for IYO, 70 for Mayu. Now, after the match, IYO holds the title up high. They celebrate. She celebrates. Mayu gets to her feet. Her and IYO hug. Kairi gets into the ring. You know, freedom. They share a hug. They raise arms together. Finally, all 3 together on television. What a moment. What a few years it's been to get here. But here we are. Obviously, Mayu is going away again. It's fine. She had the Mae Young Classic run, which was like my equivalent of when they brought in Ibushi and Sabre Jr. in the Cruiserweight Classic in real life. And then she's done this, and then she's going to obviously go back. I'm not going to sign any more of these Japanese women. I've got enough of them in NXT if I need more. I won't do that to you. Hype package. Cruiserweight champion against Junior Heavyweight champion. You know, 2 champions of their respective weight classes in their respective promotions. But only one can walk out of here with a double championship. It is Johnny Gargano. But to do it, he's got to go through arguably the greatest Junior Heavyweight champion of this generation. I believe Hiromu is 5 times the Junior champion in this timeline. So, yeah. Obviously, Gargano, without Candice here tonight, he has to go it alone against Hiromu Takahashi. The Time Bomb himself. 82. Yeah, we'll take that, because again, I had to keep Gargano strong, because he was moaning. Again, I think, like, Japan-wise, Gargano might be a little bit more popular than Hiromu, but it's going off the American popularity, basically, which is why everybody that, from the New Japan side, that wins the WWE guys were like, "Oh, I don't want to lose to him." I was like, "Oh, grow up. It's fine. I'll pay you off after the show, Johnny." But I did keep him strong. I don't want to tank his popularity. But yeah, Hiromu picks up the win with the time bomb in 14:57. 73 for Hiromu, 90 for Gargano, and we do not have a double champion, a double cruiserweight champion, because the junior heavyweight champion, Hiromu Takahashi, stands tall with a victory over Johnny Gargano. Obviously, without his wife here, comes up short. Hype video or tail of the tape, I guess, for Ishii and Oba. You know, one man who's going to test the resolve of the ruler is the Stone Pitbull himself. You know, those forearms are going to crack on Obafemi's skull. And if Oba does get through this with the championship, he does have Damian Priest in just 48 hours for the United States Championship. But Ishii, he is retiring as well in the game, which upset me because it's Biggie Tommy. Ishii can go until he's like 70. But I had to give him this match before that happens. And I couldn't talk him out of it because obviously he doesn't work for me. So, yeah. You know, I had to just give him the one match in the series because that's my guy. You know, I'd never bring him in because it doesn't make sense to bring him in. I mean, I did have Suzuki and Shibata, I guess, but yeah. But I have to at least give him one match in the save. 80, Wild Brawl. Ishii was tiring because he's, you know, finishing up in this game. But, yeah, I'll take an 80, sure. Obafemi picked up the win with the fall from grace in 14-13 to make defense number 5 of the US title. 80 for Obafemi, 63 for Tomohiro Ishii. And the ruler does escape with the United States Championship. He goes through hell, and he is still the United States Champion. So he will meet Damian Priest for the United States Championship on Monday Night Raw. Women's Tag Team Championship hype package. 4 teams. Our dominant, longest reigning, history-making, maybe youngest Women's Tag Team Champions of all time, Cora Jade and Roxy Perez, will face Lash Legend and Rosie Riley of NXT, Hayden Willis and Arisa Nakajima of NXT Japan, and Saya Ida and Hanan of Stardom. 4 teams, 1 winner. Let's see who it is. 80. Okay, that's a lot better than it should have been. Cora Jade creative finish was a success, so that might have boosted it up a little bit. But yes, if the teams of Bianca Belair and Jakara Jackson, Charlotte Flair and Ariana Grace, and Tiffany Stratton and Mariah May weren't enough to stop New Millennium's run, these 3 also weren't enough to stop them. Cora Jade pins Rosie Riley with the double underhook DDT in 10 minutes 1 second. And they make defense number 13 of the Women's Tag Team Championship. Long may they reign. 88 for Roxy, 85 for Cora, 62 for Rosie, 50 for Lash, 71 for Hayden Willis, 76 for Arisa Nakajima, 62 for Saya Ida, and a 61 for Hanan. Bang. Cora and Roxy walk out here, still the Women's Tag Team Champions. Hype video package. AJ Styles, Shingo Takagi. I believe I looked this up, and they hadn't had a singles match, which I do guess does make sense, considering I think Shingo came to New Japan after AJ had left. So that does make sense. But yes, AJ, Shingo, AJ, of course, a former IWGP World Heavyweight. No, oh, sorry, IWGP World Champion, not a World Heavyweight Champion, because we haven't switched the belts back yet in this timeline. But yeah, AJ, he teased last night that he might not come here alone, and he's certainly not. You might be able to tell based on this image what's about to happen. But AJ does make his appearance. He comes out, old theme song, AJ Styles, back in Japan, Bullet Club by his side. You know, we get appearances, Carl Anderson and Gallows are here, Tama Tonga is here, Yujiro and Bad Luck Fale, I believe, are the other 2 that we can get. Obviously, there's 3 people from AJ's Bullet Club missing, but we don't talk about them. We can't get them. But yes, AJ with the whole crew making his way out, turning back the hands of time here tonight, looking to become IWGP champion. 77, should have been maybe a little bit better, but sure we'll take it. Shingo defeats AJ Last of the Dragon in 1909. And yeah, Shingo retains the... I don't have access to the championships, so we'll just have to pretend that he retained the IWGP title. 77 for AJ Styles, 70 for Shingo Takagi. Obviously, Gallows, Anderson, all of them, they're not back. Tama Tonga's not with AJ. He'll be back in the GOD. It was just... I'm just a nerd and wanted to do Bullet Club lore, and if you're only watching WWE, like you only watch WWE in real life and you're watching this, you're probably so confused, but I'm just being a nerd. It's fine. Let me off. But AJ comes up short against Shingo here tonight. He fails to capture the IWGP title. But next up for him is a chance to be in Money in the Bank, of course, when he faces Neville on SmackDown next week. Okada. Back in technically a New Japan ring, but not officially a New Japan ring. A half New Japan ring. He comes to the ring. The crowd is cheering him on. They're happy to see him. They go home. And he cuts a promo, obviously, in Japanese about how he's back. And he wants to make New Japan proud from all the worldwide viewers that will be watching this show. The place he called home, the place he carried on his back for so many years. So he truly wants maybe a former foe, maybe a former ally, maybe someone he's never faced before, but the best of the current New Japan roster to step up and face him for this Intercontinental Championship. Out comes Shinsuke. In a funny twist of fate. I thought this would be fun, Obviously, I got a Shinsuke left a couple of months ago. He's now back in New Japan, obviously, because he's got all that popularity. Actually, no, I think this is his first appearance here, so he will be there going forward, but he's back, and it's going to be Okada representing WWE, defending the Intercontinental Championship against Shinsuke Nakamura representing New Japan. And yeah, it's, the two Chaos leaders. A lot of history between these two men in this promotion. This probably will end up being the match of the night, to be honest, because Shinsuke, again, has that WWE popularity in Japan. So, yep, there we go, 99. Okada gets a 100, Shinsuke gets a 79, but Kazu carries him because they've got great chemistry, obviously. And he puts him down with the Rainmaker in 21:35. To make defense number 7 of the Intercontinental Championship. 100 for Okada, 79 for Shinsuke. I'm recording this IRL the day after the Shinsuke AJ match for Saturday Night's main event. So, he can turn it back when he wants to. So, yeah. Okada and Nakamura face to face. And all the history that brings with it. But it is Kazu who stands tall. The Intercontinental Champion. Here tonight. A belt Shinsuke, of course, has won multiple times before, so, yeah. But now it's time for what we all came here for. It's a Worlds Collide, it's an in-your-house show, they're not going to be like the super longest shows we do. Especially this one that's not really had much build, it's just been, cool match after cool match after cool match. Tanahashi, John Cena. Only time ever. Icon versus Icon. I don't expect this to get a very high rating in the game, for a litany of reasons. Mainly being that I didn't want to only make this go 14 minutes, because in real life it would go at least 25. But in the game, neither man has the stamina to go that long, but I just took it on the chin and went, yeah, fuck it, we'll do it anyway. Because, realism matters to me. But yes, aura, hype moments and aura will carry it, hopefully, to at least an 80. Entrances, speaking of hype moments and aura, here they come. You know, John Cena enters first. He gets sort of I don't want to say heel reception, but obviously he's not going to be favored in Japan against Tanahashi. So there's probably still some people that like him, but for the first time in this retirement tour, really, he's not the overwhelming fan favorite. He comes out first in an away game, effectively, against Prime Barcelona. Well, not Prime Barcelona because he's retiring, but effectively Prime Barcelona. Tanahashi comes out, big pop, go ace. Him and John Cena face to face. Let's see how he can do. 73, there we go, yeah. That's what I was talking about. For a number of... But Creative Finish was a failure, John Cena was tiring, and other creative decisions against... Oh, well, we know it was better than that in our hearts. Okay? But John Cena's working, you know, the more heel pace here. He's, you know... Tanahashi's got him countered, you know. He's got the 5 moves of Doom scouted and shit like that. You know, he's done his research on John Cena, basically, and Cena's getting more and more frustrated. You know, since WrestleMania, he's wrestled, I think, 1 match, and it was that tag match that Tana got the pin in anyway. So, without ever actually turning and doing the heel turn and the heel run, we are going to get shades of, you know, that sort of heel aggressive worker here because he's the villain in Japan against the ace. But in the end, it's not enough, and Tanahashi does put him down with the high fly flow in 24-22. Because I had to keep John Cena strong and protect him, because I didn't want him to lose all this popularity on his retirement tour. But yeah, and the finish was a failure, which also tanked the match. Like, the crowd was hyped for it, see? Hype moments and aura was working for the fans. But yes, Tanahashi pushed John Cena down in the main event of Worlds Collide. And then, you know, after the match, you know, he's celebrating, he's air guitaring, and Cena, like, sort of, you know, rolls out onto the apron. He takes a seat on the apron. He sort of just ponders to himself. You know, he looks around, he's like, huh, what the fuck? And obviously Tanahashi, like, orders John Cena back into the ring. They shake hands. Cena bluntly shakes his hand. He raises Tana's arm, and he walks out of the ring, you know, disappointed in himself. Tana gives a rah-rah speech to the fans in Japan, and Cena is dejected. He basically had the entire company's weight on his shoulders here tonight, and he lost. The face lost to the ace. Never before, never again, and with the rating it got, I guess good for that, but yeah, Tanahashi puts John Cena down to close Worlds Collide. 82 rated show, that's much better than it should have been with a 73 rated main event. I guess Okada and Shinsuke carried. But yeah, I had the goal to do a Worlds Collide. I thought it was a good little gimmick for In Your House. So the popularity differences and stuff like that was always going to be an uphill battle for me to try and overcome. But I did the best I can. We're going to pretend this rating was better than that because hype moments and the crowd would carry it to at least an 85. Like, even if they are both washed. But yeah, that's Worlds Collide in the rearview mirror. We are now only a week away from Money in the Bank, which John Cena is in. He lost tonight and he's upset about it. But he has a chance to redeem himself next week at Money in the Bank. And Raw will be the go-home show for that show, which will feature the remaining Money in the Bank qualifiers on the Raw side, as well as Obafemi defending against Damian Priest, and a whole lot more. See you then.